You got any more? Any more? Oh, give him a big hand. We appreciate it. Next up, we have a return flue steam engine. The fire still is put in where he is in the firebox. It's got a big opening, goes to the front of the engine and makes a big turn, and the fire and heat is pulled back through flues and then goes up through the smokestack. This is a Huber built over Marion, Ohio. This one is rated at 16 horsepower, built in 1920, weighs about 10 tons. Owned by John Yaller and family of South Charleston, Ohio. It was once owned by Art Highland, another longtime member of this organization. That's John and family up there. They've been having a good time with it. Actually, the lady taking pictures is his wife, Marilyn. Do you have a whistle? Any more? All right, thank you. Give him a big hand. Once again, we talk about Harold Stark and his 1/2 Gar Scott. It's a half scale of a 1915 18-horse steam engine. Harold's from Indianapolis, Indiana. This was all built by Harold, including the whistles you're going to hear in just a minute. He has taken it to the Indiana State Fair every year since it was finished in 1979. Took 5 years to build. Now, we're going to keep it going, but I do want to tell you that Harold worked 30 years and retired from Allison GM in Indy, and he helped build the fuel and oxidizer tanks for the Apollo moon mission for Armstrong and Aldrin. So he helped put the men on the moon. We appreciate it. He also helped us with the tug of war a while ago. They're also going to take that engine out and do some plowing in just a little bit. Harold, you got a whistle? Any more? Isn't that amazing? It's got 3 chambers in it. Give him a big hand. Appreciate it, Harold. This one you can call lots of names, but we call it a steam doodlebug. Owned by Jack Poland of Gordon, Ohio. Built, as I understand it, by Clark Davidson and Ralph Berry. It's got a Brownell upright boiler from Dayton, Ohio. It's got a single cylinder, and it's nicknamed the Comet. And that's Shannon Smith on there operating it. You got a whistle? Any more? Any more? Any more? Those last 2 hurt. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Shannon. Shannon's done a lot of work here this weekend helping us put on this show. Next we have a Case steam engine. If you'll notice carefully, it has a jacket around the boiler. That jacket is to help hold the heat in the boiler. It's owned by Calvin Niehoff of College Corner, Ohio. It's a half scale of a 60 horsepower Case, made in Wisconsin, finished in 1967. Calvin absolutely has a great time at these shows. Calvin, do you have a whistle? Any more? You ornery you. Hey, give him a big hand. Appreciate it. Thanks, Calvin. This particular model is rated at 2 horsepower. Oh, I'm sorry. Here we have a team of Belgian draft horses owned by the Jim Mills family from down Hollinsburg, Ohio. The one on the left here is Chipper. He's about 9 years old, weighs about 2,400 pounds. Rocky's on the other side, weighs about 2,600 pounds. They're both 18 or 19 hands high, used for farm work, shows, and parades, and 4-H. It's pulling a shuttle wagon that was built by Jim Peppelman, longtime member of this organization, and it's a Case farm wagon running gear. The homemade wheel rub brakes on the back. Structural members are made of steel. The lower footboards are oak, and the rest of its wood is poplar, and it holds about 25 adults, and actually has handicap also. and Jim Peppelman brings that for us each year. Thank you, Jim. Oh, okay. 1968 John Deere 3020, owned by Jerry Satterthwaite from Englewood, Ohio. And that's Jerry up there. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jerry. Uses power shift. Next up, we have a 1959 541 Ford Offset, owned by David. It's Butcher, isn't it? Or is it Booker? Okay, it's got to be one or the other. All right, David Booker of Troy. We appreciate it. Thank you for bringing your tractor. It's one of our feature tractors. Next up, a 1951 Ferguson 30, owned by Don Lucas, Greenville, Ohio. Appreciate it, Don. Hey, they got the trucker running. It is a 1947 Ford COE. That's a cab over engine. That's what I mean. Owned by Mr. Jim Stacy, Wilmington, Ohio. And yeah, it is Jim up there. All right. Give him a big hey. Thanks. Do you have a horn? I love it. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Jim plans on building a quarter-scale sawmill this winter. All right, next we have a team of Alaskan Malamutes, and this is owned by Sharon Airy Darnell from Ithaca, Ohio. These dogs were bred up around the Kobuk River region in northwestern Alaska and named for the Malamute people who live there. They pulled the camps from place to place and were also used for hunting, and she's had them around the entire weekend. We appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you. Next up, we have Curtis Noble from Urbana, Ohio. Curtis just loves equipment. When he was too little to drive this, he had a garden tractor. Now he's graduated to a John Deere H, a 1941 model, and Curtis will hopefully be participating again in the tractor games. Appreciate it. Thanks, Curtis. Next up, we have a 1965 John Deere 110, owned by Curtis Noble again, and driven, it says here, by Henry Saylor. All righty.